All right, good morning. I am going to do something a little different today. It's going to be kind of fun and kind of interactive. So I am a glorified, self-proclaimed hair nerd, and I love to share my knowledge of hair and things that you can do to improve your own hair or, just help you through some struggles that you might be working with. So today I'm going to share 15 common mistakes that people make with their hair. Usually they're pretty simple and easy to correct, but I found myself making some of them. So as a hairstylist, if I'm making some of them, I'm sure that some of you are too. Hey, Tammy, good morning. So I'm going to share this info with you, but I want it to be kind of fun and interactive today. So if you're jumping on live, type the word live in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, type the word replay in the comments, just so I can see who's on and I can come back and say hi to you. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about hair struggles and, different things we can do to improve our hair and definite mistakes that people make every day. So let's make it fun and make this a bit of a game. In the comments, put a hashtag, whatever your hair struggle is. So list off your two biggest hair struggles. If it were me, previous to switching my product line a couple months ago, my hair struggles would have definitely been damaged. So I would be hashtag damage and I would be hashtag hair loss because I just had a baby and I was experiencing significant hair loss. So share with me what your struggles are, two struggles. Put your hashtag hair struggle in the comments, whether it's hashtag dry hair, hashtag no volume, hashtag snarls, whatever it is. So let's make it fun, make it a game, and share with me what you're kind of dealing with, what kind of struggles you have. So let's kick it off. Number one problem and number one mistake many people make with hair is using too much heat. Your irons are designed for what would be like ethnic hair, which is super coarse and very difficult to change. And so those irons heat up to 400 to 450 degrees sometimes. And most of us don't require that kind of heat. I don't know what heat you actually bake a turkey at because I've gotten out of baking a turkey every year at Thanksgiving, but we don't want to bake our hair. Turn your heat down. In the salon, I don't work with anything over 340, and heat damage is definitely minimalized there. All the time, people tell me that their irons are on 400, 450, and it just makes me cringe. You're putting your fine silk blouse in an incinerator. If you think about it that way, you wouldn't do it. So turn down your heat. Turn down your heat on your blow dryers as well. The other thing, number two, is mixing heat with hairspray. A lot of people put hairspray on their hair before they curl it, and that is a big, big no-no. A lot of hairsprays, I guess I should say, depending on what kind of hairspray you have, a lot of hairsprays are packed with alcohol, and that sizzling noise isn't the product, that's your hair. So do not put a product that has alcohol on it that is already going to dry out your hair and then apply heat to it. Also, if it's a super strong hairspray, you're basically making super glue on your hair. Not a good idea. Number three, brushing wet hair. A lot of people tell me they brush their hair when they get out of the shower, and I have clients who sit in my chair and insist upon brushing their own hair out, and they rake through it. I can hear it snapping. Brushing your hair when it's wet is not a good idea. When your hair is wet, it's weak, it's more fragile. The hydrogen bonds are actually broken when it's wet, so they're very susceptible to breakage. So when your hair dries, those hydrogen bonds form again. If you use a wet brush, those are actually designed to brush through wet hair, hence the name. But they are a little more flexible and they're safer to use on wet hair. However, I do just recommend either a wet brush or a wide tooth comb. Number four is sectioning your hair. So many times I have clients tell me that it takes too long to straighten their hair, or when I do their hair in the salon, it stays straighter longer, it lasts longer. Why is it any different? And instead of doing what they should do, which is sectioning your hair, they turn the heat up and then they have more damage because you try to take a whole clump of hair and run your flat iron through it for to save time, but are you really saving time if you're frying your hair in the end? Don't make your tools do what they're not made to do. Turn down your irons and section your hair. Work in smaller sections. Divide your hair out. Work with the bottom layer, then work with the middle, then work with the top. If you've ever seen any of my styling videos, you'll see that that's how I do things. But it helps to actually increase the longevity of your style because you're taking more time to apply heat to a smaller amount of hair rather than trying to heat a huge chunk of hair and do it all at once. I also blow dry in sections because of the same thing. So many people, have you ever got done blow drying your hair and the mid-lengths to ends are super dry, but then when you stick your fingers in, it's still damp? That's a result of not sectioning and not really drying the entire piece of hair. So take your time, clip up parts that you aren't working with, and section your hair and work with your hair in sections. Like I said, requires less heat, increases longevity. It will also decrease frizz for those of you who are prone to frizz. This will help you. While we're talking about drying, let's talk about not drying. Number 5 is air drying. Air dry your hair as often as you can. Let it air dry. It will reduce heat styling, so it will therefore reduce heat damage. But even if you can let your hair dry, you know, I like to let mine dry about 70 to 80% of the way, and then I finish with blow drying so that I can really put in some volume through the top with my blow dryer, but yet it dried mostly without heat. So air dry as often as you can and let your hair just rest. Number 6 is detangle before you shower. How many of you actually take the time to detangle your hair before you shower? I know that this was something that I wouldn't do. You know, I'd spend all this time back combing my hair and keeping volume in it, and I'd get in the shower and I'd flop some conditioner on there, and I would think that, you know, well, my conditioner's supposed to detangle that. It'll get it out. But actually, that's not the job of your shampoo and conditioner. You need to make sure that you're brushing your hair out before you get in the shower so that your conditioner and shampoo can actually get all the way in and do the jobs that they are supposed to do. So brush your hair before you get in the shower. Number 7, while we're talking about getting in the shower, wash properly. So many people do not wash their hair properly, and to be honest, I wasn't for a long time either. So it's something that, you know, we commonly overlook. So you need to be shampooing your hair 2 times. The first time you shampoo your hair, it really is getting in there to break up the buildup and, you know, environmental buildup, product buildup, just our regular dirt and oil and everything like that. It breaks it up, but it doesn't have enough to wash it away. So shampoo, really scrub on your scalp, and then rinse, and then shampoo one more time. Get a really great lather. Let the emollients and the nutrients in your shampoo soak into your hair, and then wash everything away on your second wash. Follow with conditioner, which is number 8. Make sure that you are using conditioner. So many people tell me that they skip conditioner, and it is a huge mistake. So shampoo is meant to cleanse. Excuse me. Shampoo goes in, breaks up all the buildup, the dust, the dirt, the product, everything that we put on our heads and everything that just ends up on our hair. It breaks it up and washes it away, but it leaves that cuticle layer of the hair open. So while we've put all this, you know, extra hydration in and, you know, whatever else your shampoo for your hair type is designed to do, and moisture and nourishment and all that, we want to trap it in there with conditioner, because conditioner is going to come through and seal the cuticle layer. So you really do need conditioner. It will lay those, they're like scales. It will lay those scales flat. Thing with conditioner though is you have to let it sit at least 2 minutes. All conditioners require time. If you're not letting your conditioner sit, you're basically just dumping money down the drain. So let your conditioner sit for 2 minutes. My biggest tip with conditioner is to get a wide tooth comb. They make some with like little hooks that you can clip on your shower head. And while I put my conditioner on, and then I take a wide tooth comb and I comb through it. My hair is really prone to snarls because it's super fine. I have a lot of it, but it's super fine in texture. And so I will take that time and comb through it. This evenly disperses the conditioner from roots to ends, making sure that every piece, you know, gets conditioner, but it also helps with tangles. And I don't spend as much time detangling my hair after I get out. While we're talking about washing and conditioning, how often should you be washing your hair? I think that some of the biggest struggles, and remember, keep putting your struggles in the comments here. Remember, hashtag whatever your hair struggle is. Do you have dry hair? Do you have no volume? Are you losing hair? What is your hair struggle? Share them with me. Put them in the comments with the hashtag and then whatever it is that you struggle with. But I bet you the 2 biggest things I deal with are people that say they are oily, They are, people that have to wash their hair every single day. Otherwise, they are a complete grease ball. Sometimes within even 8 to 12 hours of washing, they're oily. And then other people on the opposite side of the spectrum are super dry scalp. Well, actually, overwashing can be the problem. It can upset the pH balance of your scalp and causing you to overproduce sebum, which is our body's natural oil, or you're underproducing and you're not, you don't have enough. So make sure that you're washing. It's recommended probably 2 to 3 times a week. If you're on the oilier side, I would say about every other day. But we want to make sure that we get that pH balanced at the scalp and we're not constantly stripping away our natural oils by overwashing. Using a product that is pH balanced and good for the scalp is super important. So knowing that you're using good products and what's in your products is key. Let's see, number 9 we are on. Remember to keep sharing your hashtag hair struggles. What's your hair struggle? Share them with me so I can see what everyone is dealing with. But number 9, while we're still talking about washing, a lot of our mistakes are in washing. Using too hot of water is a serious problem. Most people use excessively hot water and it's stripping out your color and it's also activating your oil producing glands. So try to use like warm tepid water, but because this will dilute the oil glands, it will remove dirt, it'll improve your blood circulation, but it's not so harsh on the scalp. And so do not put scalding hot water on your scalp. In fact, it is best to conclude your washing session, your shower, whatever, with cool or cold water, just as like a final rinse. This will stimulate blood circulation, which obviously helps with hair growth. And it will make your hair soft and smooth and shiny and seal that cuticle layer down again. Number 10, getting out of the shower, we what? We throw our hair in a towel. So this is a huge mistake. And yet so many people do it, myself included, because I don't always think ahead to bring something with me if I'm at someone else's house or at a hotel or etc. So towel drying, you have to be really careful with. Not only, the material of your towels, but also how you do it. Don't stick a towel on your head and rigorously rub your head, okay? You can instantly create damage by friction, rubbing those strands together. Like I said, let's think of our hair like silk strands. If you don't want to take your your favorite most prized silk strands and rub them up on each other, okay? Don't do that. Treat your hair well and it will treat you well. So no rigorous drying. If you are going to use a towel to just blot off your hair and really squeeze it out instead of, like I said, friction rubbing. But I would advise that you get either a microfiber towel, something a little softer that's not going to cause micro damage on the hair, or what's even better is like an old cotton t-shirt. Use that to squeeze out and blot the moisture out. Do not tie a huge 5-pound bath towel on your head. I mean, we all done it. We all have. We've done it for years. But think about it. You wrap that huge heavy towel on, you fling it backwards, and it's like instantly pulling your hair. It's like an instant facelift, right? So that is pulling on your hair, creating damage. Hair is stuck in, like I said, that wet, vulnerable state, and you're putting it in traction. So not good. So replace your towels with microfiber hair wraps, or even better, an old cotton t-shirt. And we all have way too many t-shirts, so just volunteer one to sit in the bathroom. Number 11 is, after we've taken our hair out of our old cotton t-shirt, we need to comb out our hair, but we need to do it right. Like I said, back to that client sitting in my chair raking out her hair. I could hear it snapping, and you're doing the same thing. Have a proper tool, like a wet brush or a wide tooth comb. Use detangler. It's not just for kids, it's for adults too. If you want to know my favorite, ask me, I'll share. But use detangler, use a wide tooth comb, and more importantly, start from the bottom and work your way up. Hold mid-shaft, comb out the ends, then work out the middle, and then go all the way through. Don't just start here and rip it down, okay? Do yourself a favor. Number 12, use an oil. Every hair regimen should have an oil. You just want to be careful with what kind of oil you have. There's so many on the market, but they're oils are key to everyone's hair regimen, and they're being used in, you know, daily hair care. They're being used in our color, everything. And so you need to find an oil that has a small molecular structure, something that is going to be that it will easily penetrate all the way to the cortex of the hair, and it won't be, you don't want something that's like heavy in silicone, because those oils actually coat the outside of the hair. They're heavy, and they build up on each other. So why that's important is if it's a silicone-based oil, silicone, like I said, builds up on each other. Now, does silicone work? Yes, 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 yes. You put it on your hair and it's smooth, it's soft, it's shiny, it takes away the frizz. It certainly works. Here's the deal. Like I said, it builds up on each other. So you're getting layer after layer after layer of the smooth, shiny looking hair, but what's underneath is moisture-starved hair, because what silicones are is silicones are plastic. So if you think about coating your hair in plastic and then taking your 450-degree flat iron over the top of it, you just laminated your hair. And there is no moisture getting in there no matter what shampoo and conditioner you use. So while I say oils are key to a hair regimen, it has to be the right oil. There's a lot of oils out there that, like I said, make your hair look nice, but what they're doing underneath is really important. So you want to make sure you have the right oil. Moving on, I could talk about oils all day. Number 13 is a pretty easy one, but also commonly overlooked. No tight ponytails. Do not pull your hair back in tight ponytails. In fact, I have gotten rid of using ponytails. I use Invisibobbles, and if you followed me for any bit of time, you know that I love these. So these are just little flexible Invisibobbles, they're called. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them on Sephora, you can find them everywhere. But they just release the tension. They don't make a kink in your hair when you've had a ponytail. They make really great messy buns really easily. But also, you know, when you pull them out of your hair, there's not like, how many of us have grabbed our ponytail holder and ripped it out at the end of the day and like a handful of hair comes with it? I know I have done it for years. Or those little tiny elastics, and we like put like tiny little ponies, especially in our little girls, and then we rip them out at the end of the day. Not good. So avoid tight ponytails as often as you can. I am one, I have to work out with a tight ponytail, and Invisibobble falls out if I'm running. So I will put a headband in, and I will use a regular ponytail, but really only when I'm working out, and I'm careful when I don't just rip it out of my hair, I actually unravel it. So be careful, don't do it. Ponytails can cause traction alopecia, and what traction alopecia is when literally your hair is pulled too tight in a ponytail, and it's causing your hairline to recede, and you're losing hair because of that traction. So invest in some Invisibobbles. If you have medium, probably a little bit longer than mine, any longer than mine, you need to sleep with your hair up. So putting your hair in an Invisibobble or putting it in like a long loose braid to sleep will help you eliminate frizz, it will eliminate snarls and a matted mess in the morning. So that's just an extra tidbit for Invisibobbles. Let's see, that was 13. 14 is hair color. So your hairstylist isn't just lazy and she doesn't just not want to do her job or whatever it is. If she's telling you that you can't go from black to super Pamela Anderson white blonde in one time, you can't. Really important with your hair color to be realistic. Hair color works in stages. So if it goes from black to brown to red to orange to yellow to white. And in order to get to those super light white blondes, guess what? We all have to go through those stages. So if you're a dark, you know, chocolate, almost black brown, and you want to be, you know, lighter platinum blonde, as these pieces are in the front, you're not probably going to get that in one visit to the hairstylist. And if you do, it might not be in the best quality or in the best shape after you leave. So be patient. Know that you're going to have to work through the stages. Talk to your hairstylist about a bond repair. There's so many different brands. I use one on every single color I do, especially with lightener. It's something that we can put in our color. You can have a take-home treatment to do in between visits and just help repair those broken bonds. We can't change the color of your hair without breaking those bonds, but we can do a good job of repairing them, and then you can do at-home maintenance as well. And just be patient. Be patient. I mean, you have to be copper in order to be blonde. It's just life. So be realistic, be patient, and know that there are stages. Your hairstylist is not lying to you. Number 15. This one seems a little irrelevant being in South Dakota because I feel like we're never going to get summer right now. But chlorine uptake. So this is something that I never thought of as a hairstylist of 11 years. I never considered. You know, you always see the signs at the shower or at the pool to shower before entering. I always just considered it something that you were supposed to be clean before you got in the pool, right? Actually, there's a better point of doing that as far as your hair goes. When your hair is dry and you jump into a pool, what happens? Well, it gets wet, right? But it also soaks up all of the water, all of the chlorine and chemical and everything else that we really don't want in our hands. Our hair, excuse me. Our hair is super porous, especially like mine is super porous. I color it, I lighten it, it's very porous. Virgin hair that's not colored is a little less porous most times, but it kind of just really depends on the person. Either way, if you get your hair wet before jumping in the pool, you will, you know, take in less chlorine, less chemical, less pool water into your hair because it's already sopping wet. It's not going to absorb anymore. So think of it like a sponge. You want to fill that sponge up before you actually get in the water. And that was actually a tip that I was like, oh, I guess I've never considered. Even better, one step better, is if you use a leave-in conditioner to coat your hair before jumping in the pool. It'll actually protect against chlorine uptake a little bit more. Just a bonus tip, and something that I think is not really considered. I share all of these things. I have a free hair group. If you want to join it, let me know. I share all kinds of tips and tricks and videos and what kind of products I like. I have something for each one of these 15 things that I've shared with you today. I have something to match up with that. And so please ask me. I will definitely include you in that. Also, please share with me in the comments. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Brenda. Oh, thanks, Kristen. Share with me in the comments your hair struggles. What are the two things that you really struggle with your hair? Is it dry hair? Is it no volume? You have breakage, damage? Are you losing hair? Put a hashtag, whatever your hair struggle is. My last and final bonus is something that people don't consider when it comes to their hair, and it is a healthy diet and your health, like in general. People don't neglect your health. Your hair is it's kind of the last system in order to receive vitamins and nutrients. So often when people have some kind of deficiency or health-related problem going on, you see it in their hair. We can see different medicines and that actually come out in people's hair, but also like people who have eating disorders, people with diabetes, different things you can see in people's hair because that's how our organism works. Like I said, it's the last system to receive nutrients. So an unhealthy diet would also play into that. It would make it impossible for our organism to replenish its supply of vitamins and minerals. Therefore, our hair can be lackluster, it can be dull, it can be limp. In some cases, rapid hair deterioration and hair loss can actually be a sign of serious illness. Our hair has a way of kind of indicating something, when we lose hair or it's, like I said, it deteriorates from its normal state. That's often a signal that something bigger is going on inside and you need to get to the root of it. These could include like gastrointestinal disorders, hormonal disorders, thyroid problems, something as little and as big as stress, diabetes. Like I said, our organism works in such a way that our hair is always the last in line and for receiving those nutrients. Therefore, hair problems can indicate problems within. And often too, people don't consider you might experience hair loss or just other changes in your hair 3 to 6 months after a triggering event. So often people will tell me, oh, I'm losing hair and I don't get it. I mean, and I'll go through the rigmarole. What vitamins have you changed? What supplements are you doing? How you've changed your diet? Have you lost weight? Are you experiencing stress? Have you had any recent surgeries? any hormonal things that you know of. We'll go through that. And oftentimes people are like, well, 3 months ago this happened and I was super stressed, but I'm good now. Well, that's right. But, you know, like I said, it's last in line. So it's often the last to, you know, show signs as well. So 3 to 6 months after a triggering event, you can actually see hair loss or hair deterioration. So something to keep in mind, and just a bonus tip for you. Thank you guys for watching. If this helped you at all, do me a big favor and just share it. And if you want to be a part of my free hair group, let me know and I will gladly add you. I share all kinds of tips and tricks and my favorite products. You know, like I said, I've been using these products solely on myself for just about a year and on every client that walks into my salon for the past 9 months, and I've seen incredible differences. So I'm very happy to share. All right, guys, have a great Monday.